guys, I'm Kayla and this is Captain Mark from 38 Light Tackle, and we're here today to go over a little fishing report for you. I feel like we haven't been on in a little bit, so we wanted to share all the catches, all of the successes, and
it's been awesome.
all right. So you have been out fishing the last, couple of weeks. A little bit. I know we're having that weird spring weather, but tell us what's happening.
This has been one of the most fun Aprils that I can imagine, or that I can remember. We've had more blackfin tunas that I've ever caught in April.
And let me just say, they are delicious.
That one time on the boat where I implement the captain's tax, and I'm like, oh yeah, these taste terrible. I'll take them home.
A little bit.
But we've had big blackfin tunas. We've had plentiful king mackerel. Remember that one day?
There's a ton of king mackerel. We did. We went
Kayla
out.
and I went 2 for 5 on a spot. And when I say 2 for 5, we were just trying to take pictures and videos. So we lost 3. We didn't lose any hooks, but we lost 3 just trying to get the right kind of stuff on video.
It was a scouting trip /
and we're throwing jigs.
Marketing trip.
Yeah.
It was a fun trip.
We're throwing jigs. We're not doing it for food. We're just having some fun. But I also caught my first mahi of the year, which is a great state water mahi. But king mackerel, blackfin tuna, and mahi in April, and good ones too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The bite seems like it's been on fire. I mean, you haven't had a bad trip. It's not been one of those trips where you come back and you have one mingo to feed 11 people.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, with your trip the other day, what was it? It was a huge blackfin tuna.
Yeah,
you had, there were so many things. They had so much.
Yeah, and mingos and triggers are plentiful. I mean, if you want to go catch little fish all day, they're everywhere. But we just try to have a little bit of fun. Bait is easy to catch and it's everywhere. A couple days we had to go out and look right over the lip. It was over the lip in deeper water. It was fine, but right around the bridge almost every day, plenty of cigar minnows, plenty of threadfin herring if you're going to use live bait. The kings, obviously we threw out stinger rigs for those. Your big one came off of a tuna rig.
Yeah.
And I tell everybody,
They were a little weird. They didn't like it.
I tell everybody in the seminars and everything, tuna fishing and king fishing are very similar. Just use fluorocarbon instead of wire.
The kings were finicky though. They did.
Kings.
And you know what? I actually had another fisherman tell me the same thing.
Who are you talking about fishing?
I can't share that information with you.
What are you talking about?
But they said the same thing, that they actually were having a hard time catching on the wire leaders.
Yeah.
That fluoro was the way to go. So it's very interesting.
And this time of year, what I'll do is I'll throw out fluorocarbon with a single hook on it for tuna. And if I start getting broken off by kings or eating through the leader, I'll switch to wire only. When I see the pier and certain other anglers catching a lot of kings, we'll go out with the intention of wire. Maybe I'll throw one with wire and one with fluoro. And the kings have all come on the fluoro rig, obviously, and it's just been awesome.
Well, that's why they call it fishing, though. You have to experiment a little bit. You're not going to be able to always do the same thing and expect the same result. You've got to be a little bit flexible with the way that you try to do it. So. And
then the red snapper catcher and release everywhere. Gags are in close. Mingos everywhere. It's an awesome time of year. I think all of us are just excited that the water temperatures, and that's another point. Water temperature one day was like 74, then it dropped when that cold front came through and it was like 69, which was a huge change. And then yesterday I think it was 71. So it's right at that area that we look for all year of, okay, kings will show up at 68 and maybe there's Kobe around or whatever, but still blackfin tuna, still kings. Early mahi, which I think is a good sign for the rest of the year.
That's amazing. Mahi are our favorite fish, basically, and we're so happy to see them showing up right now in that size too.
Great, yeah, it's good mahi. And then we've got seasons changing, things coming up, but it just gets me excited because we're looking out at the water now. Like we've just got. Season's here. People aren't really here yet. I think we're in between seasons, between spring break and Memorial Day. Things will pick up a lot as it gets hotter, but the fish are here. It's exciting. I think next week has some really good weather. planned.
Should be good weather.
I think
this is plenty of time for you to get some practice in before everybody gets in town.
Yeah, I think the weather looks a little bit better, and the hotter it gets over the next couple weeks, the more consistent the weather will get. And we did a video a couple weeks ago about, I guess a couple months ago, about what I use for weather and how I make the decision to go. So there's
I think you should remind. Just to give a quick reminder.
I have it all on my website on 38lighttackle.com/forecast, but I used Windfinder a lot. I use the live buoy readings, which the link is on my website. I use
my radar is really good too. I like that one. That one's how I have to check on you sometimes.
Yeah.
And my radar is so accurate as far as like where the actual storms are. So if you're out there and you want to see how much time you have left to fish in that area, it's pretty accurate.
Yeah, I use my radar on the water to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good app.
Exactly.
But I use the NOAA actual sea forecast a lot, the marine forecast for offshore Destin. But yeah, I mean, that's the forecast for me is blackfin tuna. I think most of them hit herring.
Yeah, that seemed to be what they were liking.
I think they hit herring. Baits everywhere. Mingos are easy to catch right now. Even the bad anglers are catching mingos, which is funny. There's just a lot of fish around. It's turning on. Everything's getting good, right? Yeah. And then we've got the snapper seminar on Tuesday.
I was about to say, speaking of mingos and speaking of bad fishermen, I'm kidding. I'm so kidding. But if you do want to learn more, we were there, guys. We were there at those seminars, literally watching Tim on the side of a boat not too long ago. And so now, we're a part of it, but you learn so much at the seminars, and there's a big one coming up. It is Tuesday at Legendary Marine in Destin at 6 o'clock. It's going to focus on
snappers. So Tim and I are going to talk about everything: red snapper, black snapper, mingo snapper, how to catch them, where to catch bait, what to use on slow pitch rods, what kind of rods we use. We're going to talk about as if you've never been fishing before. And normally when we leave, I always tell Kayla, I just gave out trade secrets, like things that, like I give out a lot more information than I'm comfortable with.
You're gonna know what you're doing after you leave for sure.
And we've got a ton of giveaways this time from Return 'em Right.
If you guys have never, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but if you guys have never been to a seminar at Legendary, they provide food, they provide drinks, the guys come out, they provide so much information, a wealth of knowledge, and there are always giveaways at the end. And this time is a particularly special time because what you're saying, Return 'em Right, it's a big deal. It's a new law.
Yeah, so anyone fishing for reef species is required to, as of April 1st, even in state water, you're required to have a descending device or event tool. So Return 'em Right is giving out free gear for anglers, and at the seminar we have a ton of gear from them and we just have some here. We've got actual descending devices that we'll be giving out. We have 2 full $100 descending device and sequelizer kits. We'll show you how to use them. And then we're also giving out koozies with cards and QR codes on how to go online and redeem the free $100 kit anyway that you're legally required to have on the boat. But just a cool thing, a lot going on. And like you said, free pizza and drinks.
Yeah, free pizza, drinks, a wealth of knowledge. I think you guys will not be sad, to come on out. It's a great time. And, there's some pretty boats. There's some decent people there.
Yeah, mediocre people at best.
But we really wanted to come in. We haven't checked in a little bit. So, fishing is starting to heat up again. So,
it's awesome.
Expect to see us a little more regularly at this point.
And I've got my new boat that I'm ecstatic about, and it has changed the game a lot. And I kind of, heading into the new year, I was like, the new boat will be good. And I don't know if it's just a good time of year, a good fishery, a good season.
Maybe it's just a lucky boat.
I don't know, but it's, I don't want to say I'm sick of eating tuna, but it's
we will never be sick of eating tuna, especially fresh Gulf blackfin tuna. Bring it to me every day. Thank you.
But as far as the fishing report goes, that's all I have. Blackfins on fluoro, on herring, baits everywhere, seminar, early mahi, kings, Mingoes everywhere, triggers everywhere.
All good news. Everything is good. There's nothing bad about this report. So we hope to see you guys at Legendary. Send us a message if you have any questions and keep following us.